Yo, welcome back. Happy Sunday. This is the Not Holding Back. This is your boy Fat Man. Thank you for joining the channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. We talking about Asmongold. I'm gonna be real with y'all. He said some stupid shit. Now, before I get into this entire conversation, you probably clicked off already. I personally thank you for, don't thank you. This is something very important, right? There is a whole thing going on. And if you don't know about the conflict, you know about the whole Israel-Palestine situation. But now, fast forward into information that I obviously looked up, and you can look it up yourself. Israel's about to deal with Lebanon and Iran attacking them and throwing missiles at them because, well, Israel just seems to be a bunch of dicks. It just is what it is, right? Now, we already know about the Israel-Palestine conflict and the problem going on, right? Everyone is equating to this being a genocide. Asmongold opened up his fucking mouth and said something very stupid. Before I play that clip, I want you all to understand he said some dumb shit out his mouth. And before I play that clip, remember, you can take this as whatever you want to take this. Personally, I ain't gonna defend the motherfucker. I might make an excuse for something, but that's only because of ignorance, as ignorance is, right? Ignorance means not knowing or not willing to take in new information or knowledge. Personally, someone called me ignorant once, and okay, well, fuck you. But I'm gonna break this down as best as I can. Let's get into the video.
You want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people. They have genocide built into Sharia law.
Okay, so when he says it's baked into Sharia law, this is what he's talking about. When he mentions the Muslims and how they practice their religion, this is the information I was able to find. It's in the description if you want to read it without any commentary, but I think this is a really bad faith argument.
Right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people. It's not even a question. It's crazy that people don't see it that way. They'd be doing the same thing. And how much did they kill? As many as they can. They're not able to kill as many people as Israel because they don't have as many bombs and as many weapons. But if they did, they'd be doing the same thing. That's it. Just takes enough. That's right. These people are not your allies. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture that is horrible. It kills people for their identity, and it is directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for, and it is an inferior culture in all ways. It is that simple. No, I don't feel bad for them. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't care. I don't support them.
Okay, so Asmongold's argument, which is a stupid fucking argument, he somehow sticks here to call these people, which is Palestinians, inferior, an inferior culture. And he doesn't care that they're being genocide because he kind of goes to say this, and somebody else says this in a podcast with Destiny. I'll play that clip in a small second. Asmongold goes to say, in this fucking clip, he goes to say, if the roles were reversed, Palestinians would do the same thing to Jews. I don't probably think that's a probability, right? Because the people who voted for Hamas those people are dead. And it just is what it is. Now, the kids that are growing up don't know about Hamas and what Hamas used to stand for unless they have access to the internet. They have information in books and they can just be like, all right, this is the date, this is when they came to power type shit, right? But other than that, if Palestinians had the same weapons, artillery, the force, would they do the same thing to Israel? Personally, a part of me says no, I hope not. But another part of me says, if the hatred runs that deep, these people will blow each other the fuck to smithereens.
Listening on Asmongold's original take.
Marriage merger is it's a better fork.
I'm going to start contributing to that one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So by definition, you must be able to say some cultures are better or worse than other cultures, right?
Yeah.
So so Asmon's statement, I think, probably leans a little bit too far off in one direction, but all of the people attacking him are coming from the more retarded direction than Asmongold, which is to say, oh, actually nothing about Western culture is better than anything about Middle Eastern culture, blah, blah, blah. Like, type from my iPhone 15 XS or whatever, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, the joke. I think, yeah, that's exactly it. He went too unhinged, saying he doesn't care that people are getting genocided. That's obviously, you should care regardless, because people, you have to remember, even the dipshit Yemenis, teenager, terrorist, whatever, like, they only know the cards they've been dealt with their life. I can't really fault them for, like, if your entire life, if you were born in Gaza and all you've ever known is that the Jew is the devil and that they want to destroy you, and you've only pictured them with horns in your head, like, I don't know if I fault this person.
So if you
for
and
hating
I
them.
were talking, I would agree.
Yeah.
But you can't say that when you're somebody on the other side who never gives that same excuse to people on the other side, right? If you want to say some Israelis have only known violence, or they've only known like fighting, or a lot of them.
Oh yeah, that'll never be.
That will never happen. For somebody to say like, because a lot of people say like, oh well, what about 48? What about the wars? What about this? I was like, okay, well, what about the Second Intifada? That doesn't count. They should have actually known that this is in the context of more violence and that blah blah blah. So they'll never get that same like granting that on the other side.
So we don't grant that then.
No,
basically.
you shouldn't grant that. No,
Okay.
not to them. Yeah.
All right, so they're bad people. Well, I mean, it is the case. I said this before, and someone was like, well, actually, Cyprus. But, like, if you're gay and you're in Israel, like, you got to go, like, 1,500 miles before you're not, like, put in prison or killed in, like, any direction. And then someone's like, well, technically, there's an island you can go to. But
What, Cyprus?
yeah. But,
Which side?
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't there like a civil war?
It's like, but be careful, right? If you're gay outside of that little oasis in the desert of Israel, because it's not going to be too poggers for you. Any direction you go.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, though, is that I don't know if I would trust Asmon's take on this in the context of his audience, but that a whole bunch of qualifying because that audience is very radical now.
They're not enlightened like DGG.
Well, yeah, good one.
It's not
about being
no.
It's not about being enlightened. It's that Asmongold seems like a lot of his channel right now is based on rage porn about woke people. His audience probably there are probably a lot of people in his audience that are like the bad version of what I said. Like, Western culture is superior to Middle Eastern culture. We should just genocide them all. Fuck it all. Right?
Oh, they probably are like, you should just glass the entire Middle East.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Interesting.
So I think that's an issue.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how he would have been if he just left out the genocide parts and more like, I don't care about these people because they share none of my values and I think they're bad people.
I mean, that's a pretty hard statement to make about a whole society full of people. Although people have no problem saying the same about Israel, including their babies.
Well, they do say that about Israel and the babies.
Yes.
Just is what it is. When he calls Palestinians inferior people, he doesn't care, all this other stuff, it's coming from some really, really fucking crazy place. Like, it's coming from somewhere fucked. Like, take it from me, right? I'm always online. I'm always looking at stuff. I'm always trying to, yes, expand my knowledge, but capture just a bit of information that I can understand what's going on, right? Now, I'm not a fucking encyclopedia of knowledge. I can't keep it all because I've learned, the older I've gotten, some information, you just can't memorize every single bit of it. You can memorize the bullet points because the bullet points are what counts. But what he was saying was some dog shit to say. And other people have stuck up and been like, what the fuck are you saying? Why are you saying this? And he came out with an apology. Personally, his apology kind of goes up other people's asses. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Here's Omni reading some of the shit from his said apology.
My bad. Of course, no one deserves to have their life destroyed, even if they do things or have views I find regressive. You guys deserve more than me saying stupid shit like that. I'll do better. Oh my God. My man said, my bad. Taking a step back. I feel like we kind of all know that this is not something he actually is apologetic about. It's something that he said with his chest that he 1000% feels. I think he just realized he kind of took a step way too far forward. The repercussions were reeling in, and he's only apologizing because he can't get away with it this time. This section saying you just violated your golden rule of never apologizing. It would be interesting to hear why you made an exception on your next YouTube video. He said, I don't mind apologizing if it's something I think I'm actually wrong about. Given the amount of times I've gotten hate for things and never apologize should be proof enough of that.
There's one thing with here, Asmongold has said, listen, he said it himself. He's not afraid to go back and apologize on something if he's wrong. Now, I'm gonna play a couple of clips here. I'm gonna play a lot of these clips in their entirety because I want you to understand here, a lot of people are mad at him. And Nmplol just came out and said, Nick, Nmplol just came out and said, yo, leave the orc alone. So Asmongold has, by his own will, he's left the orc. He's left OTK, he's left Mad what is it, Mad Mushroom Gaming.
A few days ago, Zach Asmongold made some comments that, even in his own words, were disgusting and abhorrent. OTK denounces all forms of discrimination and violence, and that sort of behavior cannot be tolerated. Yesterday evening, we spoke with Zach, and he will be stepping away from his roles at OTK and our affiliate companies, Starforge, Mythic, and Mad Mushroom. In our conversation, Zach vehemently expressed his desire to change his life and broaden his perspective. Earlier today, he posted a video detailing his thoughts on his comments, along with the changes he plans on making moving forward. We hope Zach remains committed to the promises he has made to us, the community, and to himself. In the meantime, OTK will continue fostering an open and inclusive work environment dedicated to producing the best live streaming content possible for our community and partners. As an indie game publisher, we exist to empower developers from all cultures and backgrounds to share their stories and passions through their art. The viewpoints shared by Asmongold on Monday are antithetical to our mission. Zach will be stepping away from his leadership role in Mad Mushroom to work on himself and to hold himself accountable. The team at Mad Mushroom will continue to work towards upholding our values and raising up talented independent developers to bring their games to life.
He's left these places because of the shit that he said. Because he was told by everybody, from his words, his father, other people close to him, yo, you're wilding the fuck out. Here's those clips.
In check. Despite his apology, many of his followers have taken to social media to defend his comments. Here is Nick hitting out against viewers, defending Asmongold's comments and harassing others in the organisation.
These Asmon defenders, y'all are fucking cringe. Listen, he is our friend, he's not yours. You don't need to go harass everything OTK related for him, okay? You guys look like losers. Stop it. Like, holy I cannot. He don't know you, little bro. Stop. He's our friend. We talk to him daily. We know him more than you do. Grow up. Go focus on yourselves. Get a job. Go to the gym. It is pathetic. Like, after every single OTK tweet just getting harassed, it's insane. Stop. Like, it's crazy. I've never seen this before. Y'all are making his community look horrible. Please stop. For love of God. Like, we know him. You do not. Just because you watch him all day. Holy moly. It's crazy. I can't believe it. And I never even say shit like this, but like, off.
Ago, I made some comments about Palestine and also about Hamas and, you know, some just general, you know, basically opinions that were trivializing the genocide that's happening there. And I don't really want to like mince words or like try to like, oh, I wasn't justifying or, you know, promoting it. I said something about it that was disgusting. I said that I didn't care about innocent people getting killed by another force, by anything. And I think that that's a horrible, disgusting, mean-spirited thing to say. And I don't necessarily think that it was really racist, really. But when I'm using language like Palestinians or like the people there, rather than what my real language was, I've always been very outspoken and very against religious extremism. And I still am. I think that any religion and any way of thinking that's going to cause you to put other people in like kind of positions below you as like, you know, like gay people, women, people with disabilities, anything like that, I think that that's a really bad position to have, and I really don't like that. And I think that my problem and my fault here was that I was making a criticism of religious extremism, and I made no effort. And I feel like almost, I've rewatched the clip, right, or a number of the clips, and it's like I've almost made an effort not to draw a distinction between the two things. I think that a lot of us here can easily say that we're against religious extremism, and I am. But whenever I categorize everybody in the area as this, like, group, then I'm the asshole. And I was the asshole. I had a lot of you guys tell me that. And it's taken me, this is what's so crazy about it, is that I think this has been going on now for like 2 years. I think that I've been slowly devolving into the most mean-spirited, I don't really even know what the word is for it. Just like the most mean-spirited, rude, like nasty, like just callous, psychopathic version of myself. I think that I've been devolving into this. And a lot of my friends have told me this. My dad has told me this. He said, you've got to chill out. You've got to calm down. I've been like, oh, that old man doesn't know what he's talking about. And I've finally had some level of accountability for that. And thank God. I look back at some of the things that I've said and done over the past 2 years, and I don't think that I've been wrong about everything, obviously, right? But there have been ways that I've communicated and ways that I've acted that are indefensible. And I think it's, looking back on it, it's just disgusting. And it's something that when you get lost in the sauce and you get fixated around like listening and reading feedback and, you know, just getting hyper fixated, this is like your entire life, you lose a perspective on reality and you lose a perspective on the world. And I think that that perspective was brought into perspective yesterday and the day before when I was making comments like this. And I feel so stupid. It's crazy. So I'm getting all these people making negative comments toward me. Everybody is telling me like, oh, go kill yourself, I hate you, everything like this. Do you know who reached out to me? And they wanted to talk and have a conversation and see if I was okay. It's people that were Islamic and people that had fucking family in Palestine. And how humiliating is that? How absolutely humiliating is that? And these were the people I was trying to say were bad. And I feel like such a fucking stupid asshole. I really do. Sorry. I really am. I think that it's extremely fair to criticize religious extremism, and I think that it's extremely unfair to categorize everybody in part of that group as religious extremists. I think it is, and I'm really sorry for that. I've just been a fucking dick. And it's weird because yesterday I woke up and I didn't know if I was going to get suspended or not, and I had planned on streaming and everything, and I actually got a text message from one of my mods. They said, oh, I heard about the suspension, I'm sorry. And I was like, I remember I was like driving and like, you know, you'd think that like your heart rate would go up, but if anything, I felt more relaxed. I felt like finally I have a moment to just take a step back and breathe and think for myself and just stop, just like get out of my own head. And I spent a long time like just writing basically a list of all of these things that like I think that I should be doing with my life. And this is going to be kind of the second part, by the way, of the video. Comments that I made were pretty much about religious extremism. I think it's bad, but I've categorized a lot of people in that way that was unfair. It's wrong for me to have done that. I said something that was bad. I should not have said that. I should have chosen my words more carefully. I didn't do that. I doubled down on it. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. That's pretty much, I was a fucking asshole. I was a piece of shit. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. And so, actually I do know what else to say. I don't like making apologies because I think words don't matter. But I do think changed actions and changed behaviors do. And so you can take my apology as hopefully better content. And if you're not seeing that, I want you to hold me accountable. Hopefully this time I won't be stupid enough to ignore it. Cut down. This is going to sound like, I hope I can say this in the right way. I feel like the main times that I laugh on my stream nowadays are when I'm laughing at other people. And I look back on videos that I did from 2020, 2016, and 17, and yeah, I've always been an asshole, but holy shit, I've been way more of an asshole. It's insane. And it's a night and day difference. And I've had, again, everybody in the world telling me this, including my own dad, and I've just ignored them. And finally it's like, you know what? Maybe I'm an asshole. Maybe this is too far. Maybe I need a course correction. Step back from all of that. I'm going to step away from my leadership position and OTK and Starforge and everything. I want to, and they're fine with that. They respect that, and I want to do this. And I want to do this not only for them, but mainly for myself, so I can be a better version of myself for everyone. And I want to apologize to all you guys, my viewers, that I don't think I've lived up to that. I think that I can be a lot better than what I am right now.
I've played all this shit in its entirety just for y'all to understand bro fucked up, right? Now, I've said some stupid shit. I've done some stupid things. But I've also understand when it comes to this Israel-Palestine shit, even he said it, why do people with no knowledge, no prior knowledge, no information like to get involved in these situations? He has no prior knowledge, no prior information to get involved in this. And regardless of what Destiny and this other guy said, it's hard to look at the shit man said here and justify it. But Asmongold himself is like, fuck it. For penance, I have to clean my house. I have to take stake in my own actions. And for people who are holding him accountable, he's like, yo, thank you for holding me accountable. I have learned something. Which in reality, if a bro, if your own father is coming out and telling you, yo, you need to relax, that tells you something. Your father, your mother, your friends, if people around, he said it himself, people around you are telling you to chill, boy, you better sit your bumble clots out. What are you doing? Like, the fuck?
Spoke on Asmongold's situation in the following tweet. In the wake of his ban at Asmongold, put out an apology video talking about his conduct. Sometimes apology videos come across as meaningless and hollow. This one does not. Been watching him for years and saw his content slowly change into angry takes and lashing out. Glad to see the self-reflection and a plan to move back to better times. Just need action to fit the words now. Thanks, man. I hope I can live up to everyone's expectations. I spent most of the day yesterday reading through all of the replies on my @Asmongold post. Lots of hot takes on both sides claiming that he's irredeemable or did nothing wrong in the first place. For those that think he's irredeemable, what if you're wrong? The first chance at real change in his behavior and the go-to is to hit him with a stick. You're creating an environment that only promotes further sliding into that character, because then at least he has acceptance. Polarized environments don't help breed change, they just enforce more polarization. Would you rather someone with a massive following self-reflect and admit wrongdoing, or be pushed further into a hateful state? What kind of example is even being set here? For those that think he did nothing wrong, he admitted what he said was wrong many times. It was reductive, hateful, and needless. There is no questioning that at this point, and claiming it to be true, just reinforces an echo chamber. The internet is a small place, but the world is larger than your take on it. Both extreme stances on this argument are absurd to me. I've spent my time fostering a community where failure is not an end, but a beginning to growth. The first step is, and always will be, introspection and self-reflection. For those that claim they lost faith in me and will no longer watch my content, you weren't watching it anyway if this is a surprise to you. Does it mean he will come out of this the person you want him to be? Likely not, but I can both denounce his awful behavior and positively reinforce his good behavior, just like I would for anyone else.
And I get it. Yes, the whole Israel-Palestine situation is bad. A lot of people, even a friend of mine, right? I lost a friendship over this shit. I lost a friendship over my opinions just with the United States and the shit happening in the US. Yo, this is what I believed. And some of you won't like this. I said, in the US, I don't think we should be protesting this because it's not going to change nothing on other people's soil. Someone said, oh, but the people have a right to protest. In the back of my mind, I said it's stupid, it's dumb, they should stop. But in reality, I also had to think about it clearly enough and said, well, you know what? It is their opinion. They can protest. They can do that. We have the right to do that in the US. So, personally, what I'm saying is also my opinion. So, opinions, assholes. Everyone's got them, right? That's the old-fashioned saying. But then again, you got to think about it yourself. My opinion, does it have weight? Personally, no. Yes, I'm growing as a YouTuber, but do my opinions and the shit I believe in have weight? No, I don't think so. But it's what connects with people. Asmongold has a huge millionaire, huge following, huge stack of people, a whole bunch of supporters and people that are blindly supporting him. Niggas that got the blinders on, like, open up my book, you're all fucking stupid. There's just the coordination of this, right? If you got millions of dollars, you have fucking hardcore fans, he said it. People who've watched him since 2016 or even further than that have been with him and have just been like, bro, are you okay? Do you want to talk? What's happening? Asmongold has held himself accountable for his actions, and so has everybody else. To be held accountable for your actions, regardless of a blind fucking people who watch you, you have to know the shit you say is ignorant, repugnant. To call another people, I will never call somebody inferior as a people in itself, right? And other people are calling him racist and this and this. XQC just said something about this. We can check that real quick.
The old man doesn't know what he's talking about. And
okay, I'm crashing out. Okay, here it comes. Everybody called them racist, right? On Twitter, like that, right? What he said was culturally insensitive and stupid, right? What he said was incorrect and dumb, okay? And hurts a lot of people, right? But it's not racist. A lot of people that did call him out on Twitter, though, I noticed, though, are known racists, though. A lot of them that were calling his out are people that use the C word for white people and said F white people a bunch of times, like that Frogan person who never gets banned, fucking going against white people all the time. That's actually legit racism. You don't get banned for racism. You don't. And you're calling somebody for racism when it's not a race. You're insane. Big.
Now, I don't know how well XQC is really thinking about what the fuck he just said. Like, for real.
Hassan perfectly responds to Asmongold doubling down on Palestinians.
It's like, if the people are voting for the people that want to oppress people based off of their identity, I think that to a certain extent,
Let me
That
ask you a
does
question.
infer
Okay,
a
great
degree
question.
of like what people think.
I have two problems here. I just told you that 50% of the population of Palestine and Gaza Strip, in the Gaza Strip, is under the age of 18. None of them voted for Hamas, okay? Because they weren't alive. That's number one. Number two, you said you voted for Donald Trump in the past, in 2016.
I did.
Okay, why did you vote for Donald Trump?
I just didn't really like Hillary Clinton.
There you go. Turns out people have many different motivations for voting for one particular party over the other, and it doesn't have to be Islamist fundamentalism that they believe in. So that's my point. Because they're human beings with a ton of different attitudes and different opinions. If they see the dominating party of Fatah as a party that is completely captured by Israeli security apparatus that is working at the behest of this state that is destroying their lives, they're going to be like, okay, I'm going to go with the other guy, just like you went with Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton. So, but it doesn't even matter because most of those people that voted for Hamas are dead.
After Asmongold's take and the huge backlash that he received, Asmongold apologises for his take in the following.
Looking back on it, I was way too much of an asshole about the Palestine thing, my bad. Of course, no one deserves to have their life destroyed, even if they do things or have views I find regressive. You guys deserve more than me saying stupid like that. I'll do better.
Today, Asmongold ends up getting banned on Twitch, but on his alt account as Zach, which means that he won't be able to stream on his main account.
Twitch has now taken a side on the Middle East conflict, because there are many examples of Twitch streamers saying extremist stuff that's anti-Israel with no bans.
I agree that in these situations, yes, what Asmongold said was repugnant, stupid. It had no weight to it. To call somebody inferior is crazy, but a lot of people online is like, this is racist. No, I don't think he was attacking a race of just people. He just said they were inferior. But this is something like Hitler would say, like, no, Hitler would say the same exact thing. These people are repugnant. They need to be wiped off the face of the earth, yada, yada, yada. It's bad enough that he said this, but everyone online is like, well, I'm defending him, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. So listen, you can do what you want, baby. You can do what you want. I can say one thing, besides what XQC said. Words have weight. Words have so much weight behind them. We give words so much weight, right? And for people to say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me, words still can do damage to your mental. A lot of people don't understand that. And even Asmongold said it himself. People who contacted him were Palestinian. They were part of, their family members were in Palestine. This man felt like a dumbass for what he said.
Co-founder and OTK owner gives a statement on the situation.
The below are my personal thoughts, and do not reflect my employer or any company or person I'm affiliated with. Hello everyone. As many of you are aware, some comments were made by Zach yesterday about Palestinians and Muslims. Before I address his comments, I'd like to take this opportunity to share some details about my background in hopes that those reading this post may better understand who I am, where I come from, and what those comments mean to me. 34 years ago, I was fortunate enough to be born in the United States of America, a blessing and lottery ticket that I thank God for every day. My parents, Syrian immigrants from Damascus, came to the US in the 70s, 80s at a time when the likes of Hafez and Rifa'at al-Assad were massacring tens of thousands of their own people in Hama. The sole reason I exist today can be attributed to the words of one of my father's neighbors, who informed my late grandmother that my father's friends had just been arrested for political dissent and that the Mukabat were coming for him next. Quick on her feet, my grandmother, God Almighty grant mercy on her soul, grabbed my 22-year-old father and with tears in her eyes shaved off his beard and sent him to Jordan, hoping he would make it out. With the help of a few friends and at a time when many thought Syria was a wheaty breakfast consumed with milk, my dad was one of the few Syrians lucky enough to be granted passage to America. To that, we say, Alhamdulillah, thank God. At some point in the mid-80s, my father, then working as an engineer in Los Angeles, was serendipitously reunited with one of his childhood neighbors and schoolmates in Chicago, Illinois. This man would become my uncle, as his sister, my mother, would marry my father soon after. In typical immigrant fashion, they wasted no time, and my siblings and I were born. Growing up in the early 90s, it was clear that we weren't your stereotypical American family. After all, we were Muslims, headscarves, no pork, 5 daily prayers, and so on. We dressed conservatively, packed foreign foods in our lunchboxes, and spoke with thick accents until grade school. Yet strangely enough, I cannot recall a single moment in those early years where I felt different. Yes, our swim trunks could have been less goofy, and explaining what Za'atar was to kids at school was a thing, but despite all of that, we were just another American family in Southern California, navigating life and seeking out the coveted dream. Then September 11th happened. For those that may have been too young to remember, September 11th was not simply a moment or a day. It was a monumental shift in thought and discourse. People were horrified, confused, but above all, angry. In a famous incident, popular radio host Howard Stern called for the entire Middle East to be nuked, bomb them all, and his opinion was not uncommon. From school teachers to store clerks, politicians to celebrities, liberals to conservatives, one thing was on everyone's mind. We got to get them, but who was them? Surely the perpetrators and murderers who planned the attack, killing thousands of innocent people in the process and changing the landscape of modern humanity. However, to some, them had a much broader definition. One of the least understood aspects of the attacks was the local aftermath, specifically the experiences of Americans who could be perceived as Arab passing. It didn't matter if you were Persian, Indian, South Asian, or even Latino. If you were within a certain shade of beige and had a 3+ syllable last name, you were a sand that had to be dealt with. Many religious minorities were also caught in the crossfire, with Sikhs, Hindus, Sephardic Jews, Arab Christians, and others receiving a significant share of the vitriol. Acts of wanton violence became commonplace. Houses of worship were burned down, and random people you knew from your community were being locked up, with some never heard from again. But how could this happen? How could such a monumental shift in attitude and behavior occur in the greatest country to ever exist? The same country that opened its arms wide to the tired and the poor, and not once made us feel less than any another American? Truly, to be born American is an undeniable blessing, and despite our governance, I would gladly give my life to the country, and the people that have given me and my family a chance. The reason behind such a substantial attitude shift cannot be attributed to a single moment or event. Rather, it was the accumulation of decades and decades of subtle media propaganda designed to produce another, so that the powerful can continue to prey on the angry and divided powerless. It is a tale as old as time, transcending region and geography, national lines and civilizations, a governance strategy deployed all throughout history to keep us, the people, at odds. It is this same calculated dehumanization that has led to some of the most heinous crimes and bloody massacres, whose horrors we do not utter aloud. To many who heard Zach's comments, the language he used, whether intended or not, reeked of the same dehumanization that plagued their ancestors, their grandparents, and in some cases their families today. It is the same language used to justify wanton violence, genocide, and the destruction of our universal brotherhood. It is the same language used to brush off a video of a Palestinian woman and child burning alive as a price of war. I'm not writing this post to defend the dignity of the Palestinians suffering in Gaza. Dignity does not require defense. It is a right. To those who have supported the humanitarian efforts and self-determination of the Palestinian people and all the oppressed around the globe, thank you. To those brave enough to look beyond their own anger and reach out to their Jewish friends and neighbors, thank you. These are trying times that will test us all. Zach's comments may have been the impetus for this post, but if there is one thing I hope to convey in my incoherence, it is this. I desperately plead to all those reading to wake up to the forces around you that wish nothing more than to separate you from your fellow man and conquer your hearts, your minds, and your humanity. Those that wish for you to look upon your school teachers, store clerks, and neighbors as them. For they're not them, they are you, born to different circumstances, no doubt, but are you, nonetheless. Open your skin and take a look for yourself. We all bleed the same blood, share the same dreams, and will one day rot in the same earth until our bones have long become dust, and the difference in our beings will be no thicker than air. Please, for the love of all that is holy and good, look out for yourselves and those around you. And if you ever feel the urge and anger to reduce your fellow man to anything less than yourself, ask aloud, who benefits? Thank you for taking the time to read this. I'll be spending most of my upcoming time working behind the scenes to ensure our staff and teams are all right, and that OTK continues to grow into the place I know it can be. In the meantime, peace.
And survey says when you open the book of dumbassery, you realize thou who says stupid shit faces stupid consequences. Oh, no fucking duh. But that's the bad part, right? The consequences for Asmongold might be slim to everybody else. Oh, he left. Oh, he's gonna clean his room. Oh, he's gonna seek penance. Oh, he just doesn't like religion, right? He doesn't like radical religions. I don't like radical religion either, regardless of my beliefs. You will never know my beliefs. Go fuck yourself. It comes down to a man still saying that I don't care if people get genocide or get hurt, because if they had the same power, they would do the same thing because of their religion. I don't necessarily believe Muslim people would do that to non-Muslim people. But there's this video that went around for some fucking reason. I think it's in the Holy Land. I think it's Mecca. Mecca was the Holy Land where there were Muslims walking and they spit on Christians and I don't know if it Mormons or whatever the fuck. It's a weird video. If I can find it, I'll clip it. If I can't clip it. But the video itself showed other religions, Jewish people hating on Christians, nuns, and Muslim people as well, right? I don't care if your religious sect means you are of certain religious people. I don't care. But if your religious sect tells you to hate on others, that's when I think your religion is wrong. Period. I don't give a fuck. I think your religion is wrong. Because if religion is telling us all to come together, but then it excludes others, that's an oxymoron. That's fucking stupid. It doesn't make sense to come together, but then hate and exclude others, but that they don't want to follow in the religion that you practice because your ideology is so far up your ass with your thumb. He said something that he believed. Now, he was told by everybody, you might be a little wrong on this. Actually, my bad. I'd like to dumb things down sometimes. Apologies. You're fully wrong about this. If Hassan has to come out and say some shit, if other people have to come out and say some shit. One thing Omni said that I took a clip of that I liked.
Guys, I have this theory, okay? This is just a little side off, a little Omni side note, but I feel like when people reach a level of success with a lot of money or fame or wealth or attention, they get kind of bored with those material possessions and they start craving a new kind of drug, which is called cancellation. And doing anything that they can to kind of put them on the spotlight where it looks like they can get canceled, and then seeing if they can like survive it. Like they come out there, say some of the most outlandish things that you can think of, or do some of the most outlandish things you can think of, and be like, all right, Let's see if I can Scooby-Doo this and get away with it. That's just how I feel. That's why I feel like a lot of these rich, successful people are out here doing some of the most heinous things because they're just bored with just actually being successful. They have to become bad people or something like that. I don't get it.
Now, I don't believe Asmongold just wants to be canceled or he has the same problem as every other content creator. And that's fine. But to say something means you believe it, right? Now, I've learned this myself. Believing in something, do you truly understand that, right? If he's constantly on Reddit, constantly online, constantly in the fucking eye, he's gonna slip up and say some shit. He's been saying a whole bunch of stuff about video games, gaming, this, and this, like the harbinger of this shit. Because he's realized these takes have gotten him a lot of money, a lot of people checking him out, and blah, blah, blah. Now, when people come to his defense, say he did nothing wrong, no, the man just came out and said, yo, I'm stupid, I fucked up. And other people still kept going. I gotta take a second to understand this, right? From all of the content creators, all the people that follow Asmon, all the people that he works with, especially OTK coming out and saying, listen, we don't wanna deal with this, and he's stepping the fuck down. A bunch of places saying get out of here is crazy. When Nick had to come out and say, listen, he's our friend, we know him. He don't know you, little bro. Go get a job. Get the fuck out of here. I believe that being rich does not just, this nigga still lives like a slob. XQC actually pays somebody to clean his fucking house. But bro lived like a slob. And that only shows one thing out of everything else. There's a problem. And that problem is how he moves and who and what he's learning. As adults, we are meant to grow. We are meant to fuck up. We are meant to do these things because everything in life, so if it says, bitch is a learning lesson. Life comes with learning lessons. If it didn't, we wouldn't learn anything. You know that one time your parents broke down the sex talk to you, you learned how to have protective intercourse, right? You learned. And then you decided to watch some schmut and get involved in that. Basically, without wearing a helmet, you could have got burned or worse. God's not in the room with you. Your parents are in the room with you. Nobody is. The moment you go do some stupid shit, you do it because you want to. Oh, I want to feel it. Yeah, you're going to feel it and then feel the consequences of that actions. Take it from someone who understands these things as an adult. Life lessons to a grown-ass man, right? He's grown enough to clean his own house. Niggas got rats and roaches living in his shit. Mold, probably, right? I don't even know how you got a millionaire, but you living like your life don't depend on, like you're not gonna see that money. Bro had to get a health assessment for his life. Doctor told him like, yo, you could die at an early age if you don't change your habits. Eat a salad, eat some good food, drink some fucking water, get healthy, work out. Bro looks emaciated. And then you got the galls to come out and say something about another people, that they're inferior. It's mind-blowing. Once again, I'm just only pointing out the flaws of Asmongold and the flaws of people. He called someone inferior as an inferior people, inferior religion, inferior to his belief system. Now, where is he learning this? The internet. Just like a lot of people, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like right wing, left wing. You're all part of the same stupid fucking bird, but you all just want to do one thing and argue about who's right and wrong. The fuck out of here. Oh my gosh. And it gets even worse. You want to know why? Because other people just are finding his takes to be repugnant.
Asmongold's take and the huge backlash that he received. Asmongold apologises for his take in the following.
Looking back on it, I was way too much of an asshole about the Palestine thing, my bad. Of course, no one deserves to have their life destroyed, even if they do things or have views I find regressive. You guys deserve more than me saying stupid shit like that. I'll do better.
We played that clip because he came out and apologized. He came out and apologized for me as an adult as best as he could. Not PR-wise, just as best as he could. He said, fuck it. I fucked up. I'm being an adult and I'm a step forward. He shouldn't have said it, but I felt like he said it in the moment. He said it in the exact same moment of how he was feeling because how he was thinking about religion. He knows Palestinians, Muslim, bad religion, Sharia law, terrible for women. Now, whatever Sharia law is, I'm going to try to bring it up on the screen, screenshot the meaning of Sharia law and what Sharia law stands for. If I can't find these screenshots or this clip, I'll leave something in the description below for you to check out. If you know what it is, put it in the comments. Bro said this and apologized because he understood, hey, I fucked up, regardless of how he said, my bad. Oh! Him saying, my bad, only shows the fact that he didn't understand it until he put the whole video together. Until he realized, if you got people who are Muslim and have family in Palestine getting hurt by the bullshit, coming to you and saying, bro, you okay? What's going on here? Why are you doing this? It shows that you did not understand the people when you called them inferior. You understood from your own viewpoint of what you're reading. I've learned this through context, right? And context is important. What we read is not everything that we need to know. This is not going to tell you the whole story. You got to be there in person. He said it. I want to travel, go to these places. I might not be able to go to these places because of war. I want to go to Turkey, personal shit. I want to do this. I want to do that. He wants to live his life and not be held down by the bullshit, regardless of who feels this apology was half-assed, or who feels he should have said it, or who feels he's a bad person. That's not the point. The point as an adult is to understand where you went wrong. Learn from it, right? Once again, we come back to the same statement I made. Life is a learning lesson. Relationships, jobs, trying to make a career, failing, practicing a sport and failing and falling every day, learning lessons. He said something, what I think was in the moment of just saying some shit without not really understanding, besides the fact that he hates religion and organized religion and the way religion runs, because he used to be like a Protestant Christian. There's something wrong with that thinking pushed down to the entire world of religion, right? Because that thinking is only going to tell you, the person, wow, I should feel the same way and I think the same way. But no, you shouldn't. You should understand how these religions work, but you shouldn't be indoctrinated into their belief systems because other people tell you you should be a part of this. You should understand them. You should take them into yourself. You should realize, okay, here's the good, here's the bad. Because there's always good and bad in any type of religion, right? Any type of organized, non-organized religion. There's goods and bads in all of them. It's how you practice and preach these things that makes sense. He didn't like something, he said it. Now, as an adult, as he is, you backtrack. No, you go straight forward and apologize. Like, I fucked up. That was on me. Now, how we take said apology as adults, and that nigga's how you do it. Because don't get me wrong, I think Asmongold fucked up, extremely fucked up. But the one thing here, from my point of view is, like I said, I lost a friend to this shit, right? And my friend didn't like what I said. Now, because he's like, oh, you're not into politics and da da da. I am into politics. I used to be into politics heavily when I got out of high school. But I learned one thing out of high school when it came to political strife. The thing that's been happening with Israel and Palestine has been going on for 60 years. That's been going on longer than any of us has been alive. The problems, the issues, the land, the arguing, all of that stuff. When people are chanting Palestine will be free, this is not something they think is going to happen tomorrow. It's going to happen now. It should happen now. The government should get involved. Palestine should have their own land back. Israel should get pushed out. But then Israelis are going to say, no, this is our land. We live here now. We have homes, we have buildings, we have this, we have this. We're not going anywhere. That's the problem right then and there. Because this conflict's been going on for so long, a lot of people have so many opinions and comments into it. Now, when I learned about this in school from my teacher who was Jewish, she immediately was like, listen, Palestine, Israel, they have problems. They have beef. Israelis are messed up. Palestinians have also done some bad. But Israelis have also done some extreme bad. And she sticks up for Palestine. She's like, I stick up for Palestine. And she was an amazing teacher. Even though she was Jewish, she was an amazing teacher. Still is. Shouts to you. When it comes down to stuff like this, with opinions, there's so many people putting their hands in the fucking pot of opinions, questions, and also trying to come up with solutions. Now, a conflict that's been going on for 60 years, I don't think you're going to come to a solution right away. Yes, the United States has even come out and said, listen, Israel, we're not going to supply you any more weapons if you don't go in and help the people you're fighting. We're not going to go in. We're not doing any of that. And Israel is getting pissed. They're getting pissed because now they're getting hit from both sides. Lebanon, fucking Iran. It's about to be a three-way strike on Israel. Listen, niggas is about to get what they coming to. You know what I'm saying? This is in a couple months. We're going to be seeing more missiles hit Israel and their missile defense go down. Because if the United States doesn't fund them, they're going to get hit eventually. And I mean get hit, they're going to get hit hard. This is only from what I've seen on the news, a lot of BBC reports. You could go look those up yourself. I won't leave too many links in the description. But when it comes down to Asmongold and his knowledge of this, it's finite and limited. We could say his knowledge is like, he might know some, but he might only know the religious aspect of it, and once again, came out of his fucking dome. But that means he shouldn't have said it from a place of, I don't like religion, but I'm trying to say this from a place of just understanding, and I don't like these people for what they believe in, not the fact they're being killed, right? Because when Hassan had to say some shit to him, it's kind of like scratch your head like, motherfucker, are you dumb? Like, are you dumb? Besides Hassan, besides this person, besides what Omni said, besides what everyone is saying, people make their minds up. And a part of me as an adult is happy that he came out and said something, say, listen, I fucked up. Because to come out and say you fucked up, you prove one thing to yourself, that you're willing to grow, you're willing to be a bigger person, you're willing to stop being toxic, stop being bad, stop being an idiot, stop being fucking stupid, stop this, stop this, stop this. You're willing to stop the shit that you've been doing. You're trying to grow. You're not trying to stay stagnant as a person. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with being just going with the flow. But sometimes it's wrong when you don't have an opinion. Now, I don't think everyone should have an opinion on politics. I think you should understand how politics works. But remember, they're both part of the same fucking cuckoo bird that's supposed to help you, the person, feed you, the people, help you, the people. That's all politics is supposed to do. The moment he got involved and gave his more than his 50 cents, he gave a whole $125,000 and said, this is what I'm thinking. And then the internet said, you are dumb. Oh, this man said, here are my nuts. You're stupid. Come on, bro. He said it with his chest. And now he's realizing what he has said. Look, which is good. It's good for you as an adult to realize the shit you are saying and stop the bullshit. Because don't get me wrong, if he don't stop the capping, he's not going to grow as an individual. Cleaning his house, this dirty ass house with his rats and roaches, his penance. He said, yo, when I come back to streaming, when I go back to Twitch, when I come back, I want to improve. The only way I can improve is through content and my actions, which is true. I've learned this as an adult. I've learned this as a person. I've learned this since I've grown up. Actions speak louder than words. They always have, they always will. Because your actions show more than what your words can say. Your words are limited and finite, but your actions will prove so much outside of that fucking door. They will. They will. They wholeheartedly do, and some people don't understand that. That's the crazy part. Life is unpredictable. I want you to tell me what you think about the whole Asmongold situation. Watch everything down in the description for yourself before, I don't know, fuck any opinion at this point. But let me know what you think. What he said, how he said it, and how you can approach the situation. And what do you think about the whole Israel-Palestine situation, politics, all of that. This has been a pretty long video. I'm sorry for the length, but thank you for watching. This is your boy Fat Man. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, be notified, and thank you for coming to Not Holding Back. I appreciate it every Sunday. I'm glad you guys come every Sunday to watch something and take it with you. Remember to never give up, never surrender, and keep on grinding. Also, we are almost going to reach, I feel like we're going to get to 2K, so make sure to subscribe. We're going to reach 2K, and after that, I'm trying to reach 5K, so I may do a giveaway of a PC. I built that one with my own 2 hands. I might try it again. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And remember, please, just watch what you say, watch what's going on, keep up to everything, and just don't be too invested into it. Don't dive too headfirst deep into it, because it will ruin your life. From me to you, peace. Shoo.
Shit.
Getting bit on drum.
This is the last one.
You little niggas gonna stop acting like my shit ain't the grill.
This is the last
Some of
one.
you niggas get your front teeth for grills. And I ain't talking about the contract.
Ain't loving these fake hoes. Room smelling like 8 switches. Room service like 2K. NBA, I'm ballin', nigga. All them niggas falling like autumn, nigga. Talking shit, I saw them niggas. Now they daughter want a picture. Rough, ain't it? Fuck famous.
Yeah, man.
Niggas too real, got the most haters. Wrote a story so Stephen Curry. How it feel to be golden.